We got a green screen, so we could be anywhere.
Where do you want to be?
Somewhere tropical.
I've got tropical pictures, so we can make that work. You look great.
Oh, yeah. Respect. Mic check.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Could one of you say something into that one?
Oh.
Yep. Oh, there's the problem.
It's on now.
There being lies the rub.
I didn't
Romeo
rub
and
nothing.
Juliet. Cool. So I guess we'll wait for Samson. How'd your guys' sets go last night?
It was solidly average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super average. It was a good average night of comedy.
Average is the death of comedians.
Yeah.
We've talked about
but
that.
It's
Like,
the purpose of this podcast.
if you bomb, it's like, oh, that sucked, and you feel motivated to do better.
Yeah.
And if you kill, it's like, oh yeah, I want to do that again. But if it's a solidly meh set, it's like, why do we even do this?
That's
Why do
true.
we even
You're
do
like,
this?
because I think you have like adrenaline and stuff building up, and then you get off and you're just like so neutral, and you're just so in between your highs and lows and life, man. I have a question for you. You said in your set yesterday that you like to eavesdrop.
Yes.
Listen to people.
Yes.
And you also say a lot of really raunchy things on stage, which is fucking rad. But I've also seen you kind of wince at conversations that I've been having with comedians. So my question is, like, where's your line?
I can't think of anything specifically that was said. Sometimes
Ketamine hooker, does that ring a bell?
Ketamine hooker. That's a recipe for a bad life. Sometimes when I'm got facial expressions going on, I'm listening to the voices in my head.
Oh.
Not.
So eye contact too is like
ketamine hooker could have brought back a memory, because let's face it, I've done a lot of drugs, and it could have brought up a memory that put me in pain. So it might not have been a judgment of the conversation at all.
Have you done ketamine?
Yes.
Or been a hooker?
I've never been.
Oh,
you'd like
fun?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, you've never done ketamine?
Is it like one of those
You'd
ones where
wanna
you
be
gotta
a
like block off like a
You should block off
5 hour
at least, not 5. You could, like, it's one of those things, like, where you come
Before your
down
lunch break.
pretty quickly from, but not so quickly that you can do it on your lunch break.
Does it show up on a drug test?
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't think so.
It doesn't matter. You don't go to work for another couple
It
months.
just depends if they test for it, because drug tests, like, you can get drug tests that only test for marijuana.
Oh,
or
that's
you can
a
have
question
drug
for
tests
me.
that only
Yeah.
test for.
Do I get drug tested for ketamine?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should ask my boss that.
That's
Call
what I
her up.
always ask my boss. That's the first question in every interview.
Well, it's like prescribed now, right? Can't you just say my doctor did the therapy thing and
yeah, it's
I'm just trendy?
ketamine therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll definitely not get me kicked off the job site.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No,
Wait,
one of the,
Or what?
I was gonna comment on the wince thing that you were talking about with Tanya,
Okay.
because one of the funniest like film, like when we were first doing the open mics at Mad Sweet on Mondays, there's like a set that I'm doing, and like it's being filmed, and Tanya's right in the frame, like looking the other direction.
Oh yeah.
And the whole time, every time I say something, you do like.
It was probably a conversation I was having with somebody else.
Well, then you got really good timing
It
with
was
his
really
jokes.
funny.
You can try to talk your way out of it, but you were hearing what he was saying, and you heard us say ketamine hookers.
Ketamine hookers.
And we love you for it.
Oh,
It seems
God.
like a, maybe a slam piece right now, but
Yeah.
it's in good fun.
When Casey Rocket left Boise, there was a night that we all went to Satin Dolls and did ketamine key bumps in the parking lot, and then would go back in and watch the strippers.
That sounds like the perfect time to do ketamine. Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
Did you guys do sets at Liquid when it was a thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like open mics, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
I
that counts as a set, right?
I did shows
Did you do
there.
stand
That's all I
up
do.
at Liquid when it
Yes.
existed? There we go.
I did.
That's all I do.
What's your guys' relationship
Yeah, it's always a
trauma bond.
I'm just
trauma
buddies?
bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one night, Tanya got drunk at my house, and I was like,
No.
you need a spot to crash. And so I made her this spot to crash, and then I handed her a gun, and I was like, well, here's your bed gun also.
Of course.
You know, just in case, right? You got to sleep
Pillow,
next to a
blanket, gun.
Yeah. And it was... Part of it was just the fact that was very just you're like, okay, yeah, here's my bed gun. And you're like, all right, we can be friends.
Yeah.
Key bump.
Key bump.
Right.
No, you don't want to tell the story of when we really bonded, because every time I talk about it,
when I was
smoking crack
with Moon Deck. Yeah.
Speak.
well,
Curiosity peaked.
Well, I mean, we were doing blow, and then obviously that was like, well, you guys want to, smoke crack, which, I mean, who says no to that?
Right.
But
Yeah.
then I definitely was not a fan of his recipe.
No, he does not cook a good batch of crack.
Yeah.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
And then we stayed up till 7 a.m.
Yeah, and Tanya kept telling stories about her life, and I kept being like, how come this is not on stage?
There's a lot of shit I don't talk about on stage.
You guys bonded through crack.
Yeah.
Oh, you freebase this relationship. I love it.
Yeah.
Aw.
But then fucking fentanyl came along, and now I don't smoke crack anymore.
No.
Oh, yep.
That's
Not
what
a
did
good
it, huh?
idea.
That
No.
sucks.
It's a bummer.
Was that literally why? Like a buddy died or something, and you're just like, I guess I'll quit crack.
I have had people I know and close friends die from fentanyl, but that wasn't the reason why I stayed away.
Didn't bother me.
I just heard rumors. I was just like, oh shit, this is a thing now. The thing they actually warned us about in high school is
Actually
come to
happening.
fruition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no more of that shit. Did they put fentanyl in ketamine?
Yeah. I
Sure,
can't,
put it
yeah.
in,
I heard about
sandwich
it.
if they want.
Experienced that, but
I've heard
I'm sure it can
rumors.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to me that they put it mostly in Coke because, like, it does the opposite.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, why?
Right, isn't it like a painkiller?
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
a downer.
It's like a
Opioid.
benzo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I don't know. With fentanyl, I've become a hardcore drug vegan. Like, if it doesn't grow out of the ground, I don't use it.
I was waiting to
I
see
like
what that meant.
term. Oh, damn. Did you just coin that? Because I know a lot of drug vegans. That's like the California sober
So
kind
then
of.
what's a drug vegetarian then?
Oh, it's the same thing. Drug
Is
vegetarian.
it?
Yeah.
Or
if
maybe
I-
like
Just
does that
less
include
annoying.
acid?
Oh,
'Cause-
valid point. Because I've not heard
It's like
of.
how do you get the dairy in there?
fentanyl.
The dairy.
You can't get it into.
Well, yeah,
Acid, I
you
don't
might be
think.
able to grow it
I mean,
on
you
cheese.
Could
Yeah.
get acid, I guess, if you like powdered some tabs.
We're gonna get to the bottom of
Are
this.
mushrooms vegan? Can you eat
I
mushrooms if you're a vegan?
Yeah, you can eat.
I thought they were an animal.
They're more an
Well-
animal. They're more an animal than a plant.
Yeah, fungus is, I think.
They breathe oxygen and expire carbon dioxide just like we do.
Samesies.
Yeah. They have emotions too. Right?
What are we doing?
Am I wrong?
Did you guys take
I think you're right.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Do you have like cool drug facts? I want to hear like cool drug stories. We haven't had any
Oh,
ex
God.
crackheads on.
Oh.
Oh,
I
I
don't
was
think-
a heroin addict. Excuse me, not a crackhead.
Sorry, is that like?
I don't think you
Don't
were
get it
ever a
twisted.
I'm not a
crackhead.
crackhead. I just like to smoke it.
You were never like an actual
I was a-
crackhead.
Yeah.
Some fucking poser.
Yeah. I was a recreational crack user.
What does that mean?
It's like people who only ski on the weekends.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
A glass of wine and a little bowl of crack at the end of the day. Wind
The
down.
thing about when you smoke a bunch of crack is at the end of it, you're never like too happy about the whole situation. You know, because you just lost a lot of money a lot quicker.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you lose a lot of money fast with cocaine, but then when you start rocking it up and smoking it, the money goes a lot faster.
Dude, my mom would not be pumped that I'm hanging out with you guys.
I saw the purity card up on the mirror in the bathroom, and I was like, "Oh dear."
Did you
Oh,
notice
dear.
the date is for in the future? I'm gonna be like you,
Yeah.
voluntarily.
Yeah, you
abstinent.
get to a point where it's like, oh man.
Put the
that's a-
hymen back.
Yeah, I'm done. It's about grown back. They told me
Can they
7
do
years.
that?
No,
Fuck yeah, they can.
actually, they it's always there. That's like a mythology that it goes away. It's always there.
The first guy you have sex with, he takes it from you.
No. Not unless he fucking rooters out your vag with a tools.
You heard it here.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That's a hot tip.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Heroin,
Yeah.
huh?
Heroin,
Were
yeah.
you like Nikki Sixx with it? Like, were you like hardcore?
Oh, I was homeless. And gacked out and robbing people and doing petty burglaries and shit like that. Statute of limitations, by the way, has passed on all these crimes. So, yeah, I mean, I'd gone hard in the paint with drugs previously, but it was like cocaine. It's like, yeah, it's really great, but then it's like, okay, at some point, you know, I've reached a point where I'm out of money, so either need to sell a vehicle or start sucking dick, and I'd be like, oh, I'm done with cocaine and heroin. I met heroin, and I was like, well, everything else be damned. Let's just do heroin every day now, and yeah. So, yeah.
If you could relapse for a day, what would you?
If I
What'd you
could
pick?
relapse.
I held
Heroin's
like
the
a
best.
charcuterie
Heroin,
board.
yeah.
Heroin's the best
Well,
by
that's part of
far.
the reason why I have younger friends is like there's longevity in my family, but there's a point where I know I don't want to continue living, and that's the whole plan. It's like when I get to that point, I need younger friends to be like, okay, here's whatever amount of money it's going to require back then. Go get me some heroin. I'm going to fall off the wagon in spectacular fashion. I'll just take
Respect.
myself out.
You like do it on stage and just
Oh, do an
Like some Andy
Iggy
Kaufman
Pop.
thing?
Iggy Pop used to shoot up on stage.
sick.
I know. It was fucking crazy. There's photographs of that shit. Tying off with the mic cord.
That's sick. I might have to try heroin.
Yeah, you're selling it right now.
Holy shit.
So if you want to try heroin, talk to Tanya. She's got all the
Oh,
tips.
God.
And
Yeah, don't.
oh,
Don't. Just don't. Well, I don't know. I guess some people use it and are fine, but it was the one that it's like, I just found the love of my life. Because like I said, I'd used everything else that was available.
My dad did heroin like once, but he didn't like it. He's more of an uppers guy. He was like addicted to crystal for a while.
Oh,
actually,
God.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I smoked heroin. I never shot it, but I remember the first time I did it, I like did a little too much, and it makes everything feel amazing. And I was puking in my toilet, and it felt amazing. And I was like, that's a little bit much, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just an opioid. Like, so I mean, it's like the same,
Same
as
shit
like
they give
smoking
you at
oxys
the
or like
hospital,
fucking.
yeah.
Morphine. It's the same
Yeah.
thing
It's a
as
little
morphine.
different.
Okay, because I've smoked oxys before.
That's you
Basically the same
the
thing.
same
yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I've smoked oxys before.
Yeah, statute of
Snaps for-
limitations.
yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
They were prescribed.
One
I
time
just-
I ate like a bunch of cookies and I couldn't sleep for like 3 hours. It was
Sugar buzz.
pretty bonkers.
Sugar buzz.
Like
So
normal
I
cookies?
get like Oreos, you know. So I get it.
You know, I too.
I need someone to drive me home.
I've gone with a clean diet, and I have run into like, you know, you go 6 months without eating a piece of cake, and then you eat a piece of cake, and it's like an episode of Beavis and Butthead.
What like if so aside from it feels good, is there a way to like verbally describe what heroin is like? It's from like needle
I
to
don't think so.
bloodstream, like
I don't know. I
or
never
is it
did
just-
that.
it's like
Apparently,
you
that's a
gotta do
lot
it?
different, a lot more intense than just smoking it. I never shot it, but
Oh,
from
like-
my experience of just smoking it, I don't think there's any way to actually describe it, other than break your arm and go get some painkillers at the hospital.
Yeah, it's like you're asleep
Tanya, your take.
and coming at the same time.
Oh, cool.
That sounds pretty great.
You're just kind of nodded out.
Those are like
but
two of my
it's just-
favorite things.
And in
just-
return, you get skinny. What's the bad part about
you're
it?
you're just so high you forget to eat. Well, and plus you're spending all your money on drugs, so you don't have any money for food. So
I heard that you get like constipated. Like you're is that?
Oh yeah,
like
yeah. All of those painkiller type opioids. Well, okay, here's the thing. My education background is in medicine, so I can clinically explain this if you'd like me to.
Yes, please.
Okay. So the process that makes the poo move through your guts is called peristalsis. It's a rhythmic contraction of your gut. Yeah.
Like the
Similar.
whales in the Ahsoka.
And
Oh shit.
the whales in Ahsoka.
Okay. Didn't mean to be so direct.
Because I'm prone to being deep, dark, nerdy. So
You watched
anyway,
Ahsoka? How was it?
I like it.
It was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was always a fan.
Danny doesn't want to
Since,
hear about
Clone
peristalsis.
Wars.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, back to how your butthole works.
Well, your butthole is a completely different mechanism. But anyway,
Ahsoka.
peristalsis, the opiates are so strong that it paralyzes those muscles so your poop doesn't move.
Shit.
No shit.
Yeah. So when
so
you
dumb.
so like when you quit and you were finally able to get your
You didn't
Dad,
silence
answer it,
yourself. Answer it.
Hello?
say they're on a podcast, they legally have to.
I'm on a podcast right now. You're on the internet.
Okay, call me when you get done, man.
All right.
When you quit pod, I'll have to tell a joke.
All
Okay,
right.
see you later.
That's
Is that
dad.
your dad?
That's dad.
Yeah, that's my dad.
Huh.
He just wanted to make sure I got shit done today.
Oh God.
you?
Oh, I woke up, put
We
on
gotta-
socks. I feel like
That's
at
something.
that point it was a success.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anyways,
So I knew where you're going when you quit. Yeah, it's pretty quick that you just it's just rocketing out of your body. That's one of the symptoms of when you're DTing is you just shit yourself. Like you can't even.
does that mean detoxing?
Yeah,
Okay,
detoxing.
That's
yeah.
hip. I like that. It really saves some
No,
time.
no. You want to go old school? It's when you're on the Jones. It's when you're jonesing.
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't even think kids use that term anymore.
They say fiending now.
Fiending. That's old. That's from the 40s. Fiending is from the 40s.
Well, it's coming
Oh,
back.
Bringing
it's
it
coming back. Jesus Christ.
We'll have Jones in like another 15 years.
It'll come back around. I should keep it.
It always does.
Always, yeah, that's true.
You're just going to stare into the camera.
I was watching this Twitch stream, actually. Sorry.
Are you going to remove your sunglasses?
I didn't even realize there was a
I
stream
shoulda-
going on over
It's
there.
whatever you
I
want.
should have brought my sunglasses
My
too.
bad.
We've probably got sunglasses.
No, I am matching pair.
Oh.
Safety.
Safety third.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do some welding.
That would not.
It's like made everything brighter.
Oh, yeah. You don't need heroin.
His natural state is enough. This is factual.
So what about you? Did your butthole stop working?
I never did heroin enough to like have it really like affect me like that.
Yeah.
Because I do it and then I wouldn't do it for like a week or two.
Moderate.
Well,
That's
I
smart.
was like in my 30s already by the time this started happening, so I kind of like, you know, had a pretty good concept of what not to do, which is do it every day and get hooked on it. So, which is tricky because it's fun and you want to do it again, but then you just, you know, don't.
Right.
It's the trick to it.
Danny
Discipline.
has a ridiculously non-addictive personality when it comes to everything, but
This stuff's more addictive than heroin.
yeah, that's
Oh, for sure.
insidious. Like people are like, "You quit all the why didn't you quit nicotine?" It's like, dude, have you ever tried? You will lose your goddamn mind.
Everything.
Yeah,
I went abstinent. I can't-
to give people an idea of how strong the pull of nicotine is, I've quit heroin. At one point in my life, I lost 310 pounds, or weighed 310 pounds. So I've lost a fucking Samson large. And I did that all with mental
that
strength. I didn't get surgery or use drugs. I do not have the mental strength to beat that. So that shit is.
I feel like out of all the things, that's probably you need something.
I feel like if the vaping wasn't a thing, like if it was still just cigarettes and fucking chew, like quitting cigarettes is easier just because of like the time it takes to go outside and smoke a cigarette, fucking the smell it leaves on your fingers.
Yeah,
the taste
you
in
can
your
do
mouth,
those
but, like,
anywhere, dude.
you
Nobody
can
gives a shit.
Exactly, like you can hit this on a fucking airplane, and you just gotta hold it in a little bit longer, you know?
Kids are doing it.
That's definitely well, and they have
Or you
those
go to the
little
bathroom and you fucking
pouches,
flush it.
like the Zen. They have when I was flying up to Alaska, I had those little Zen
the
pouches.
Zen pouches.
Yeah,
I can't do like anything in my gums that like gives me a tummy ache really bad.
Oh, I get a little too much of a tummy ache. My tum gets
I'm a tummy
kinda-
ache fucking survivor. All right.
Jesus.
You don't know what he's been through because he just didn't tell you.
This doesn't surprise me.
No, the first time I did chew
It's
was
not
like
that bad.
on the wrestling bus in high school on the way to a like tournament freshman year. And I was in the back of the bus and I had to cut weight still. And they're like, "Oh, dude, double horseshoe this chew. You'll spit out fucking 10 pounds by the time we get to the tournament." And I like put it in. We're on a really windy road and I just immediately vomit all over the fucking bus.
Well, that's
Like,
one
Did you
way to
make
make weight too.
I did.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's one way to make weight.
Did make weight. Yep.
Wrestlers and supermodels have some things in common,
right.
including not eating and vomiting
Weird coaches.
They've
Weird
coaches.
that touch your butt.
In the last like 10 years though, like the wrestling culture has like gotten a lot away from the weight cutting and like gone more towards like actual strength building and like adding weight on to like get to the next like class.
I feel like they should weigh you right before you step in the ring.
You can get weighed like the morning of your match, and then after you make weight, you just go get to eat as much as you fucking want. So like a lot of times I'd be like starved for a weigh-in, and then you'd weigh in at like 6 a.m. on a tournament day, and then you wouldn't wrestle until like 10. So you go and just fucking stuff yourself full, and then you're all like slow and fucking like lethargic for your match.
Okay, that brings me back to something I was thinking about and talking to a homie about the other day. Was like the traditional structure of a date is like you go out to dinner, a nice dinner, and then if things go well, then you go back to the place and. I don't like that. Well, if you're not me, you have sex. But that I think that might be contributing to my abstinence because if I have a good meal, the last thing I want to do is have sex. I'm all bloated and whatever and farty, and it's like, no, look, I don't want to get naked and slap giblets.
But the next day you last forever because you carb loaded.
I don't need to carb load for that. Jesus Christ.
It's sports science.
I think that's why like people don't go out on as many dinner dates for like first dates anymore. It's a lot more like just going out to get drinks and stuff like that. Like I can't remember the last time I took a girl to get food.
That's
you can't say the things you do or what everyone else is doing.
But all, like that's the Tinder game, man. Like
that's
you go
not
on Tinder
dating.
and you're like,
That's
get drinks.
hooking up.
That's dating.
That's just getting your weenie wet,
Hooking up
honey.
is still
Thank you.
dating.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
You're going out on a date with
not.
a girl to
You
get your
could
dick
call
wet.
it a date, but like you're
It's
just
not
it's like
dating.
a pre-fuck interview is what you're doing.
Yes. It's like, it does she.
Yeah, but if I like her, I'll maybe we'll take her out on another date.
See, maybe.
Exactly,
Maybe.
that's dating.
No,
That's what the whole concept of dating is. You date around to figure out who you're gonna
date. No. This is
Date
people do
around.
not date anymore. That's just it. Dating. Okay, let me. All right, child.
It's like
boy,
Friends.
child,
I wanna date.
man, child. Dating used to be you would go out on a few dates, maybe go out to movie, maybe go out to dinner, whatever. Decide if you actually had some kind of bond with this person, and then maybe you would have sex.
No. Sex has to come first because if you don't like the sex with them, how are you going to know that you're going to have a good relationship?
If I like him,
Because it
the
should be
sex
worth
is
more than that.
I'm
Yeah,
a
a little bit.
female. The female thing is a little bit different. Like if I dig a dude, I'm going to enjoy the sex.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'll make him.
It's about more than coming.
No, it's not. Sex.
Okay, well-
There's no other reason to have sex. At least in my book.
Well, your book has a few pages ripped out.
This is true. There's a little bit of trauma there.
Spilled some heroin on it or something.
There's a little bit of trauma there.
I don't
And
know.
that's another problem with the whole let's go out for drinks thing too. Because after 3 drinks, I don't want to have sex either because I can't come. And why are we doing this if I can't come?
I feel so like I don't want to seem like I'm not like other guys, but like the last 3 relationships I've I felt like I did it properly. We took him out to dinner and like maybe like kissed him at the end or something, and it's nice. It's better because you do get closer to him, and if it doesn't work out, you're still friends.
Right.
And I think that's
these
important.
people that jump straight to fucking. Well, then you have this weird, complicated. We've swapped fluid shit going on.
You guys don't fuck your friends.
No.
Wait a minute. You say we're friends, and you have my phone number.
So that's a two-way
You don't
lane.
fuck your friends?
That's a two-way street. Just like friendship.
Oh, so we'll flip it on our head. Usually when I was being wild and a young man of your age cohort got my number, I would get the 3 a.m. text on a weeknight. WYD.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Well, I'm going to do it to you now.
Okay.
What's your guys' body count? Just kidding. Don't answer that.
I'm very 90s military as far as that goes. Don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell.
Hoorah or something.
That's Marines, but
all right.
Thanks for playing.
Thank you for your cervix. What about you, dude?
I don't honestly know what that means.
Body count?
No, I was just you don't have to actually answer that.
Means how people you
I
have
just
sex
mean like
with.
Oh, working on one.
Nice.
Yeah,
cool.
you know.
Okay, we can talk about stand-up now. How long have you guys... Tanya Coe and Danny Monsoon. That we should introduce you.
We didn't do that part? We just got right into it.
If you like what you see and you want to know their names...
No foreplay. We just went straight to fucking around.
Whoops.
Yeah. And it got hard really fast.
Yeah, we just went out for drinks and fucked. We didn't date.
Danny, say something.
What?
Yeah, your turn.
I don't understand. What was the question?
He was about to ask something about comedy.
What's your guys' stand-up background? What got you into it?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I don't know. It's something I always wanted to do. I wanted to do it for a long time, and then finally got around to writing. And I was like, I'm going to write jokes for a year, and then I'll start getting on stage. That way it'll help.
Yeah.
It didn't help. No, it was still just as terrible, you know?
What made you want... Did you just listen to comedy a lot and just I could do that sort of thing? Or
no, I've never really been a big fan. I mean, I am a fan, just not a huge fan of stand-up comedy. But just being from Alaska, it's not like you'd get a lot of it.
Sure.
So you just have to watch videos of it, which isn't the same, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just like I'm an attention whore.
There we go.
Yeah. Just put that on the table, and it's a very good outlet for that, you know? And I like to write.
Yeah.
And I like to be funny.
Well, that fucking works out.
Yeah.
See, and that's like our whole part of our bond too is that we're radically different comedians, and I like that he's not a fan of my comedy because I can't stand it when I come off stage. I'm not an attention whore. I came to comedy post nervous breakdown and divorce and all this stuff, and it's like, what the fuck do I have to lose? I'm gonna do this shit. And I don't write out ahead of time. I just go up there and I go, I had this idea. Let's see if it sticks. And then I'll write it out if it works out. But yeah, when I come off stage and people are like, oh, dude, you were so funny. I'm so fucking uncomfortable. I want to fucking hide in my own fucking clothes. And so I come off and he's like, you're talking about your pussy again. It was a fucking...
Tanya's comedy makes me very uncomfortable.
Dude.
I will say that much about it. And I've never been a big fan of hers comedically, but it's the truth. But Tanya kills it, and she brings a completely different style and energy than I do.
Yeah.
So.
And we've been working on some duets, but we haven't practiced enough. We do when we're together and being funny. We're not trying. We're not trying. It just happens.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm the straight man.
Yeah, we've written a lot of stuff down that we're like, that'd be good with two people on stage, but that's tricky, you know?
Yeah.
Sure. It's more of a show than
yeah, it feels
like
more rehearsed.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things about stand-up comedy is it's supposed to feel unrehearsed. right?
Whenever we try to
kind of
do
feel
it,
natural.
I think that's like almost a
fun.
newer like development in stand up though, like because like the origins of stand up, like it was like very rehearsed and there were a lot of 2-man shows. You know,
Yeah,
like all the
yeah.
big guys got started doing like 2-man radio shows and
Yeah.
shit. Like George
Yeah.
Carlin had a partner forever, and Lenny Bruce had a partner forever, and like those guys would do clubs with their partners, and they would have like certain routines, you know. And I think like the internet definitely like fucks with comedy in a way that like comedians feel like they need to have more like new shit all the time. And it's like you really need like a solid set, you know, that you do for a while, and then like you really like that's the tradition, right? Like you do material for a long time, you release that material online, then you start developing new material.
I have thoughts every day, so I don't follow that model. I'm like, I gotta try that out.
I think comics is not supposed to be anything. You think there's no?
I think there's
rule.
no wrong answer.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answer. There's no right answer either.
Yeah, there's no wrong way to do comedy, except music stand-up comedy. That's the incorrect answer.
Danny has some strong opinions. What do you think about riffing?
Riffing?
Yeah, and then go back to the music comedy part because I want to know why.
For me personally, I don't really like riffing. I like to have ideas planned out, ready to go. But I got a lot of like ideas in my notebook that need to get worked out. So I like to just stick with that. I mean, sometimes I'll try to just have an idea and see where it goes, but that hasn't really worked out well for me in the past. I usually just kind of get serious, and I want to talk about why Antarctica is bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right. And
Rather
why
than
is
trying to
it-
be funny.
Yeah. Why is it bullshit? Unless it's a bit you don't want to burn.
Technically, Santa Claus is
It's
not
icy.
from Antarctica.
Melt. You don't want to melt this bit.
And-
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's from the North Pole.
Right, which doesn't even make sense because there's no land up there.
Yeah.
One time I was riffing on that, and the only people in the audience was this family with like a 7-year-old kid, and I'm sitting there talking about how Santa Claus isn't real, not even thinking about it, and they just get up and leave. And I was like, oh, well, there they go.
What's wrong with you?
So what's wrong with musical comedy again?
Yes.
I don't like it.
Why? Unless it just doesn't. Is it like you don't think it should be a thing, or you just don't like it?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody else what to do, but I don't like it, no.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know, if you take out the music part, it's not funny.
Most of the time, no.
You know, if you were to take your lyrics and just say them, you probably wouldn't get a laugh.
Well, I mean, if you just said your jokes written out, they probably wouldn't get a laugh either. You got
Nah,
to
you need
deliver
better
them
jokes,
right.
man.
No, you what? It's all delivery.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to talk about what I don't like.
Oh,
We'll say that much.
Way to
He's
divert.
he's an anti-hater.
Yeah, at the same time
That's
being a
why I'm-
hater. I don't know. It just, yeah, I don't like it. Not a fan. What do you think about
I don't
musical
like-
comedy?
not
I like. We've had this discussion before. I like funny songs, but like the people that like strum a guitar and then pause and do a joke and then do some more and then do a joke. I don't
Right.
like.
Yeah,
that.
because there's two different ways to do it. There's
I
like
love
write a
that.
funny song, you know,
Huh?
and
I
then
like when
there's
people do that. I
Yeah.
think
You
it's
do?
funny.
Well, see,
yeah.
it's a matter of taste,
like
you know.
Nick Thune. That's his whole thing, and he's hilarious.
I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen him do that, or he didn't do that
That's-
in like the last special that I watched of him.
Yeah, this good guy one he didn't, but he still does that.
Okay. I like Stephen Lynch a lot. I think
Yeah.
he's funny.
yeah. I mean, I like Adam Sandler. I like
yeah.
his shit. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. It's like on paper, I would say I don't like it, but then you'd be like, well, I like that guy, you know. Like I don't like when people mix rap and metal. Right, I don't like rap rock, but Linkin Park's my favorite band. Rage Against the Machine's like my favorite band, you know. So what? Who the fuck am I? I don't even know.
I think you should just start saying that things aren't for you instead of you don't like them, because then it does kind of build a portrait of you that I think isn't real.
Yeah, right.
He's not,
not for
real.
me.
Just because you
Are
see
we
him.
real?
No,
Is anything?
no, not really. Not really real. Let's be honest.
I don't like probability. I think it's bullshit. I don't think it's.
Antarctica probability.
Yeah.
It's all fucking bullshit.
People are like the probability. It's like you're at some point you're like dividing by infinity. You know.
That's deep.
That's math.
Yeah. You know, like if
Mathed
you
up.
roll a dice, you got a 1 in 6 chance of it being any given number. But if you roll a dice 6 times, you're not gonna get 1 through 6.
No, because of chance.
Right.
Who's
I don't know where I'm going with this.
I was just like ready to just let you go because this always ends up somewhere. How many White Claws have you had?
Not enough, dude.
Obviously.
Not enough.
Should I go grab some?
You're not driving.
Fill them like 3 deep real quick. Just.
You got tequila to go with. We'll mix some monsoons.
Is that a cocktail that you coined?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's where you take tequila and you put it in a cup, and then you also put White Claw in
when
the
White
cup.
Claw's the mixer.
What part? Like,
it depends
You
on
just put
how
like a
many
shot
he's
of tequila.
had.
Depends on how much you want to cry that night.
Yeah.
That's why we call them monsoons. You know?
Yeah.
they'll tear a family apart.
Destroy a home.
I hadn't done it in decades, but I was with him one night and drank myself emo and could not stop crying.
in 2 pieces.
It was pretty ugly. It was hilarious, though. In retrospect, it was hilarious because he was like, "I just want you to be happy," and I was like, "I can't."
And that's part of my edge. You don't get it. You're from Alaska. Wait, where are you from, Tanya? Cool.
Yeah.
So did you guys meet at an open mic or just through comedy?
Yeah.
We actually the first time we met was at a music open mic.
That I liked
you were
to
probably
crash.
furious, weren't you?
No, I was actually like, what? Someone else is fucking dumb enough or wants pain enough to do this shit?
Dude, that's something that I recommend if you're coming up in comedy. Crash a music mic. It is the hardest set you will ever do. They're not expecting you. They're not going to laugh. If they look at you, you're crushing. Nobody wants you there.
And you can't expect them not to talk.
Yeah.
So you got lots of background noise.
You just have to wade through. We call it pig wrestling.
Yeah. Like, you know when you're wrestling a pig?
Yeah.
You kind of got it, but then you got to keep it, and it's really hard to keep. And then someone throws fucking a bucket of ranch on it, and you're like, oh, ranch. So
Right.
It's that jalapeno ranch, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That'll
So
get
the next
you.
thing you know, you're licking the pig and
It's not kosher.
Yeah.
licking the pig. It's not kosher, but you know she's looking cute now.
It's not kosher.
It's not kosher. Oh my god.
It's just not.
It's really not.
Not eating the pig.
Well,
Well, if you
you're
catch
not.
it,
You don't
can,
care
you
about
know.
the pig.
Yeah.
But I'm taking that pig out to dinner. Getting to know it. Because I'm a gentleman.
oh god, buy it some drinks.
I didn't meet this pig on Farmers Only or whatever.
Tinder.
That one's a good one.
Thank you.
Farmers Only line. Yeah, I like that one.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Oh dear God.
How'd your guys' first time doing stand-up go?
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was a music open mic,
Yeah. Same here.
and there was, I think, probably like 7 people in the bar, including the bartender, my 2 friends, and then the host, who was like my friend's friend. So yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Like,
Was it in Alaska or?
No, it was in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
I started there for like the first couple of years I was doing it. That was before Portland got all super crazy, you know, before the Trump era, I guess you could say.
God.
But I like where Portland's at right now.
I think Portland's cool.
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
I really
it's good
enjoy
in
going
Oregon,
over
I
there.
think.
hanging
Yeah.
out over there. Except the last time I was there, the bar that I was in, I was hanging out with this girl. She's like, "Yeah, last time I was here, someone shot this place up," and I was like, "Why'd we come here then?" You know?
Yeah, I feel like Portland needs to be like kind of shitty.
Yeah.
That's kind of its
That
whole
fits
shtick.
it. Like,
yeah.
and the people there are all okay with it too. You know, like it's all
Yeah.
a bunch of like grimy like fucking digital nomad types or whatever that are like.
I haven't been to Portland in a while. Is like every other bar also a strip bar too? Still.
No.
There's a lot of strip clubs there.
Yeah.
I know that, but I mean, I guess people start taking off their clothes. That counts, right?
It's like a bikini bar. Is that like what it turns into? Or
No. Back in the day, it was like literally like every other bar. There was like a couch, and it's like, "What's that for?" And you'd sit down. And the next thing you know, a chick would wander over and start taking off her clothes for tips. And it was like, okay. I had a blast.
What if it wasn't like sanctioned? Like it's not like actually the business. Like it's just some like girls.
Just,
like could I throw a couch in here?
Yeah, I do think.
Like, do they all have the same couches?
I do think there was a period of time that there was that. I just remember that was
I'm a
the first
freelance stripper.
first time I ever saw a nipple piercing. This gal, I sat on the couch because I was like, that looks comfortable, and she's like straddles me and starts undressing, and the boobs came out, which I love. Fucking boobs are amazing.
Yeah, pretty,
and her nipples were pierced, and I was like, wow, that looks interesting. And she goes, do you want to know what it tastes like? And I'm like, fuck yeah. So
Tastes like home.
And
it tastes like nipple with a penny. Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How you know what pennies taste like?
Because I was an
Everyone
idiot
knows
kid,
what
and I would put them in my mouth. I also got in trouble. I got addicted.
Had a lot of strokes.
Yeah, I've had
You
strokes
got addicted
too.
to pennies?
No,
Are you Jewish?
no. My credit rating would say differently, but it's really good. But
Nice.
I should have known. We should have known.
You're like high 800. Like you're above 800.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I should have known that I would eventually be a drug addict. I went through a phase when I was about 5 where I liked sticking a penny in the electrical socket.
Oh.
But that doesn't even fit. You can't get a
You get just enough that you get a little electrocuted, and then you drop it, and you're not. Yeah.
Would you do it right now?
No.
All right.
Yeah, I don't believe
You'll
you.
relapse.
Nope. I
That's
was
when I
crazy.
knew.
Wasn't a fork.
Was the penny actually a fork?
No,
I guess it's copper, so it probably conducts well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that tracks.
Yeah.
Look at you, just completing circuits, staying grounded or not.
No.
Shocking.
Shocking development in the conversation.
What?
What?
No,
W-A-A-T. You got it.
I got
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it too. You're yawning.
Yeah, I know.
Show
Man,
some
electricity's
respect.
crazy though, huh?
Huh? Yeah.
Electricity, that's just
Crazy.
wild. You know? It is, dude. Like,
I'm waiting.
think about it. Like, all those electrons moving around. Like, who the fuck would have thought about that shit? And now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin.
Nobody really knows how electricity works.
Where does it start? I think. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I get
can't
like the lighting it, but I don't know where it all.
But like energy can't be created or destroyed.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't start anywhere. It's just there.
But
And
how
then
do we
just harness it?
Are you a hippie?
Yes. You,
You gotta get a lasso. Step one.
Lasso so that you can harness the electricity.
okay, Wonder Woman.
conduct
Let's
it.
go.
That's what Benjamin Franklin did. He had a lasso with a key on it, you know. And
Actually,
Sure did.
that's kind of
Yeah.
technically true.
The real
So there's
story.
lasso into the storm.
yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
it's
into
like
the
fishing.
monsoon.
Fucking what a time to be alive. This goes, I'm gonna go fly a kite with a key on it. And everybody's like, this guy's a genius.
Didn't he have
You
like
would've-
syphilis or something?
No.
Everybody
No.
had syphilis back then.
No.
Oh, for sure. Everyone
Yeah.
had syphilis back then. Yeah.
It was like it was like a
God.
sign of a badge of status, you know?
Yeah, dude.
The government was giving syphilis to people in like the turn of the century into like
no,
the 20s.
it was like the
Yeah.
50s.
Oh, it was
Like having
that's
sex
even
with
worse.
everybody.
Yeah.
Like, how do they just the politicians go and have sex with everybody? And
No, they were like doctors were injecting people with syphilis.
Just to
that's
see.
not as fun
Just,
as
like,
how
see
I
what
was
it does.
thinking it went.
Dude,
Just
there
to
was
see what it
there was this like old guy that like was having
What
memory
if?
issues and he thought he was having Alzheimer's problems, but he like went into like the doctor and he's like talking to this nurse and it turned out that he had fucking syphilis that he caught during the war. Like
Yeah, they would do that
and
too.
then
Is they just
like,
not
never-
treat them.
Just never got treated for it. So he just and like I guess syphilis like in long term will just fucking like
It, like, rots your
Liquefy
brain.
your brains,
just
yeah.
liquefies your brain. So
Yeah.
he was just like, and I guess like it was they started like doing more like checks with like people in that age group that were like in World War II and stuff, and like there's like a fuckload of old dudes that were just rocking STDs like for like decades. Like
Rockin' STDs.
Got this in Nam, dude. Feel it.
Rockin' an STD.
Flexing.
That's what they were doing, dude. They were not like suffering. They were rocking them. You know, they're like
Flaunting.
like, I don't know why I have all these warts, honey. It's just like from
Just gallivanting with herpes.
killing all those Nazis, I guess.
Those aren't warts. Those are fucking patriot bumps, motherfucker. Those are patriot bumps. Proof that I serve my country.
These are my like purple hearts or whatever. My brown warts. You got a purple heart. I got some red spots that I need looked at.
I wonder if like you were
babe,
in the
I don't know how you
military
got AIDS.
and you came back with like an STD, if you could get a Purple Heart for that. You know?
Did you
It's
get it
probably
in combat?
I wonder
an
if that happened. Yeah, right.
Because that's a different war, I think.
It's like that.
Dishonorably discharged.
He was actually just all. It wasn't what you think. He was just respecting the chain of command. I was given an order.
You guys said don't ask, don't tell.
Oh, damn. I'm a virgin. So you served?
No.
Fuck. Okay.
At a
now what?
restaurant, maybe.
Serve
I was never a
looks. Look at this
server, yeah.
helmet.
Yeah.
He's serving right now.
Fucking ready, dude.
They were that way too. Yeah.
No, Danny took an interesting track into comedy. Like, you've left out the whole that you're a hell of a drummer and that you've been a DJ and...
Oh, yeah, I was a drummer for a long time. I guess I still am. I still do it, so yeah.
Did you like drum in a band?
I have not set up the kit in a van, but... Oh, did you say band? Yeah. Oh, I thought you said in the van.
Take the helmet off so you can hear, motherfucker.
You don't have to take off the helmet.
Okay, I'll tell.
And then tell us about the hair.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I was a drummer. I started in, like, elementary school, and then I really liked it, and I kept doing it. And then, yeah, I played in a few bands. The best band I ever played in was the Alley Crates, which was produced by Fifth Corner Records, which is my buddies and me would go busking downtown in Anchorage, outside the 4th Avenue Theater. Yeah, there's a word for it. It's when you play music outside on the corner and with a hat, and people throw change in the hat.
Yeah.
I still want to do comedy busking, but I can't get anybody brave enough to go with me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just easier with music, you know?
You pussy.
I thought you said butt skiing.
Butt skiing, yeah.
Yeah.
That just sounds like putting coke up your ass.
I thought it was just sliding down ice on your butt.
Well,
Because you said Alaska, and I was like, that sounds like something you would do to get to the venue.
So much more wholesome than...
Thank you. Different strokes.
But yeah, I was a drummer for a long time, and I still am, but it's hard to get a band together. You know what I mean? Because like with stand-up comedy, it's just you. Yeah. You just show up. And with the band, you got to get 4 other people to show up, or 3 other people to show up, or however many other people to show up. And then people want to start canceling because of this or that, and then your fucking drummer has to move away for half the year.
You got to trap him in a lease, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to.
That's actually not a bad idea.
See, that's my theory about why so many people get crazy about ska, because it's like, how in the fuck did you get 20 people together? Because
Yeah.
it's always a huge band.
I love ska. I wish it was more
I
of a
like
thing
ska,
still.
too.
Yeah.
You guys
I just like horns a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And like ska uses more horns than like a lot of like modern.
anything
Yeah.
besides the orchestra?
Mm-hmm.
Orchestra doesn't use horns, dude.
Yeah,
Yes, they
orchestras
do.
are strings only.
That's strings, dude.
No.
Yeah,
Orchestra can
orchestra-
have horns. You want me to Google this fucking shit?
No, dude. Orchestra is strings only.
No.
I
don't know.
fucking
In high school-
invented orchestra, so I know.
You're thinking in high school.
I'm pretty
Explain your hair before this turns into
We
a
were
fist fight.
in a
Your
band.
bones look fragile.
Oh, I wanted to dye my hair black, and Tanya was like, "Let me help you," and then she fucked up the front of it.
Did she like shave like?
No.
No, it's just not dyed.
Oh.
It's a normal hairline. You just can't tell because the black's all like fucking.
In my defense, we were trying to do this in the middle of your fucking horde, and I had a bowl and a plastic fork and no gloves and
and there's
whatever.
really poor lighting.
Really poor lighting.
And then I did look in the mirror and say, yeah, it looks good, but we leave that part out.
Drinking, and I didn't put on my glasses. There's a lot of factors at play there.
Did you cut it too?
No. I'd like to. He hasn't let me cut his hair yet.
Who cut it?
I did.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I just shave it off.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, like in Alaska,
there's just like no fade to it. Or
not
anything,
that
so it's like
big a deal when you just shave your head, but then you come down here and people look at you funny because you're in Idaho.
You aren't going through your whole hairstyle thing that you've done for years, which is fascinating to people.
I love that you're like keeping you like you
This
left
is
that
my
out.
life.
You
This is my life.
you forgot about the meat of the story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like to grow my hair and then I'll dye it again here in a month and dye it again. I don't really like talking about that.
Okay, okay, fine.
Okay, sorry.
But the end effect, people are like, I've had people ask me like, is his hair naturally that way? And I'm like, black tips? No.
No, it's not.
Grew like
natural.
that.
Did you see him 3 days ago?
Nope. Ginger last night was like, his hair isn't naturally red. And I was like, not at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was a drummer for a while, and I guess I still kind of am. You know,
Nice.
It's fun. I like doing it. I was a DJ for a while too, and that was pretty cool. But the reason why I got into DJing is because my buddy played guitar and I played drums, and I went over to his house to pick him up to come jam, and he had a turntable sitting there, and I was like, "Fuck that, dude! You're gonna." And before I could get it out of my mouth, he was like, "Nope, fuck you, I'm not teaching you shit." And so I had to like convince him to teach me how to scratch, which was a whole process in of itself because it's like this.
Like he's an old school DJ, not like just drop tunes
I did my
DJ.
senior project on vinyl DJing.
Nice, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's definitely a different animal.
Little baby scratches. Fucking crabs, dude.
Yeah, hella crabs. Yeah, my buddy Bud had crabs, and then me and him hung out enough. Now I got crabs, you know?
Oh my God.
Gross.
That's how it works.
Icky.
Nah, man, I got a purple heart for that shit.
You got purple balls from scratching is what you got. Jesus.
But then I got out of DJing because it wasn't for me.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
He hated it.
I fucking hated it, yeah.
Okay. All right. Aside from comedy and drugs in the past, what do you guys like to
we
do?
used to throw raves up in
Oh, okay.
Alaska when I was a DJ.
That's cool.
Sick.
Yeah, and one time we did this rave at a skate park because my buddy's dad had a skate park. It was like an inside thing. And all I'll say about it is, like, you know how when you're on acid, you can't really feel other drugs? Like, you smoke all the weed, you don't feel it. Well, cocaine, you will feel. And you will feel it drastically when you're on acid. It's a good time, you know?
Facts. I feel like when I've done it, it like pushes the trip off a little bit. And then you like, after the coke wears off, you're like, oh, wait, I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm tripping balls.
It kind of like takes the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird because normally acid's hard to.
Drug mixing is its own little science.
It's a sport.
Yeah.
It's a sport where you can lose bad.
fucking dangerous.
You can also
dude.
win big.
See, I've had to fight a motherfucker about like mixing LSD with nitrous. I was like, that's just too much. I laughed so hard I shit myself in front of 40 people. I just could not stop.
Because of the nitrous?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you're already giggly with the LSD, and then you put nitrous on top of it, and it's like, Bonnie, hold the phone.
Right on.
That's just like
But,
a
like-
Grateful Dead parking lot.
But like aside from that, what do you guys like to do? Like you ride bikes or watch Suits on Netflix or something?
I was into that show for a while, and then they stopped. Like all the little breaks they would have, they'd have cool songs that would play, and there was a little bit of scratching in there. And then they got rid of that, and I was like, I don't like this show anymore because there's no more scratching.
It's not for you.
It's not for me. This show's not for me anymore.
I haven't seen it. I just know it's popular, and so
It's a lawyer show, isn't it?
Yeah.
it very well could be.
I can't believe that he just pulled that soul suck out of the air.
Yeah.
Because hey Tanya, hey, have you seen this show on Netflix? It's called Suits.
So I got into moose hunting recently.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Last year was the first year I went, and just being, just living in Alaska, it's like, why don't I do this? Was a question I asked myself, and then I got into it, which was cool. And we got a moose last year. I like watching moose. It's very interesting when you see one and you just watch its behavior for a few hours. I think they had a late rut this year, though, because I think what happens is it snows up in the mountains, and then that pushes them down into the flatlands, and then the clubs open. They're all trying to fight and fuck, and that's when you shoot them.
Yeah.
My brother last year, he's a lot younger than me, but he's just a big football player, dude. And he drew a moose tag for Eastern Idaho, and he goes to school in Weber, and he just by himself drove up to wherever, shot a moose, and he's a huge kid, and he dragged this thing out as far as he could to where he was just in tears, couldn't get it out. It was snowing. It was 1 a.m, and then he had to call my dad and say hey, I got the moose as far as I could. I'm gonna send you a pin of where I'm at. Can you come help me? But he had to go to school the next day, so he
just be not go to school.
He's on the football team. He has to. And,
you're right.
So he went home. And my dad rented a snowmobile, and it was a couple miles off he went fucking far for this moose, and
that's dangerous.
That's a rookie mistake. That's an easy thing to do.
He got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
So
Yes.
in Alaska, you can get a moose every
year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Because Idaho, it's once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
And lottery drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of moose up there. They're fucking assholes too.
Yes.
So it makes hunting them a little bit easier if you're emotional.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was chased by a moose when I was a kid around this fucking carport in the wintertime.
Vengeance.
Yeah. And I was knocking on this random door crying because this moose was trying to fucking run me over, and then this lady opens the door and pulls me inside. And then gave me cookies and hot chocolate.
Sounds very Alaska.
Yeah. This was before.
Cookies and
This was back when parents let their kids do shit like that.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you can just go outside and go to some random lady's house and let her feed you treats or whatever. The point being is moose are fucking dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are dicks.
Yeah.
Remember, we've had 2 experiences with moose in McCall, just hanging out. One time we were slacklining at North Beach.
Oh,
and we went to go to the bathroom. There's one of those public restrooms at this beach, and we go to walk into this bathroom, and our buddy Mark turns the corner and goes, "Guys," and we're like, "What?" And we look over, and there's a fucking moose in the entrance of the bathroom, fucking in the overhead, just staring at him. And we're like, "What the fuck?" And so we just ran away to this bridge area, and then the moose scuttered off.
It's like a dinosaur. It's weird how they can move so far, but they don't look like they're moving fast.
No,
It's I guess if I run something really tall when they move,
Long
they
legs, yeah.
look just so slow, but they're in
And
2
then-
seconds they went a mile.
Yeah.
There was that other time when we were over by your house on the river where that gazebo thing, we were with your dog, and your dog goes chasing off after something, and we're like, "What the fuck was that?" And we look over, and there's a moose on the other side of the river, and it was crossing towards us, and so we climbed up on top of this gazebo and just hung out while the moose kind of walked around for a while, and then left, and we had to look for his dog because it was missing for an hour and a half, and we were like, that moose fucking stomped out the dog for sure. But
It can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Yeah, they'll
for sure.
chase your pet. Yeah, what else? Moose hunting, band drumming, butt skiing,
Butt
skiing.
skiing, yeah.
Hockey.
hockey.
Oh yeah, I played hockey for a long time growing up. That's a fun sport, dude.
Hockey is
Yeah.
fun.
That is a blast.
Hockey's super fun.
Yeah.
I love how just ice skating and going that fucking fast. It's so much easier than running.
Yeah,
and
right.
it just feels way cooler because you're gliding
Yeah.
and fucking.
Yeah, because I played soccer too, but it's you mean I ran all this way and now I just stop?
Yeah.
Now I have to run back. What the fuck, man?
It's bullshit. You
Yeah.
should be able to build up speed and
Yeah.
hold it.
Right, yeah.
Could you imagine if that's how we ran? That'd be so sick. Just
be
glide on
pretty
air
cool.
for a while.
That'd be pretty cool.
If we ran like cartoon characters. We had to like run in place
Drifting
for a
out.
minute and then get going.
Get up to
Like
speed.
Sonic legs, they're just spinning.
Tanya, how was your hockey team and moose hunting experiences?
I don't do the hockey
And crabs or whatever.
and the crabs. The only crabs
you got
I
crabs?
I you know I
gotta work on that.
that.
You gotta hang
Work on
out
those
more.
crabs.
Yeah. See, you know what a crab is, bro. That's so dope.
I know what a crab is too, because he's always trying to teach. He's like, if you're in my crew, you gotta learn how to scratch. And I was like,
yeah, that's a
I know how to. My job is paying bills and
protocol.
having whatever.
And writing your jokes on them.
Writing jokes. Well, I'm still a mom. I still have a child in my household, so that eats up a lot of my extra time. What else do I do for fun? I like going to live music shows. I love live music. I like drinking.
Cool.
That's cool.
Very-
I like that too.
And then, you know, my side gig is, of course, that I sell Magic the Gathering cards online, and because I'm deeply nerdy. I love playing board games.
You got a favorite?
Talisman.
Talisman.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a board game.
Well, I got that.
It's way better than Arkham Horror. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Is that like Clue, but for Batman?
Oh no, they're actually not
Yes.
even related, which is weird. It's you feel familiar with like Cthulhu and
Yeah.
what is it, H.P. Lovecraft or something?
Yeah.
It's based around that whole universe, and you like walk around this town with your friends, and then demons start showing up, and you got to fight a boss. But that's if you can get past the setup phase of the game, which took me like 4 hours, and I didn't even get it figured out. It was just one of those games that's way too complicated, and there's so many little pieces. And
He was quite drunk one time, and we went in a gaming store, and he was like, "Oh, there's Arkham Horror. We gotta get it and play it." And we spent like an
it's a
hour
really
and a
good
half.
impression.
I feel like you sound like that.
When he's been drinking,
Yeah.
he spent like an hour and a half setting it up, and then he looked at it and was like, "Oh man, I don't even want to do this now."
Yeah.
Too many words.
And, oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
That's great.
But yeah, the comedy and being a mom and working, I lead a shockingly boring life, really.
It's only boring as you said it was.
Well,
You have a family, it sounds like. That's cool.
Yeah, I've got crazy kids. I got an adult son who's autistic. That's a fucking trip. I love hanging out with Joel. Love talking to Joel. He is the best thing on the fucking planet. He cracks me up. He is just so weird. He jumps in. He's in part of our game night group chat, and he always forgets that that's a group chat. And he'll start sending me messages. And he was doing that the other night. It was like he works in a kitchen, so he gets off work at like 1 a.m. And he starts doing these messages, and it's like, bro, there are like 20 other people in here, and it is 2 a.m. on a weeknight. Fucking stop. Oh, sorry, Mom. I just wanted to say hi.
Do you ever take, does he ever go to do stand up with you or?
He's come to shows. And he's talks about it. He's like, I think I want to try it out sometime. And he's always trying to, like, I don't know if you paid attention. Like, I have so much material about my kids, but I do not. I mean, that's one of my pet peeves, comedians that lean on their kids for their material. Like, comedy is your life, not theirs. Okay? They don't have a choice. And so I'm very, like, if I talk about my kids, it's in a very generic fashion. But an adult son is like, oh, you've got some great stories about me. You should tell them.
The kids aren't the joke, but the kids are a way to get to the joke.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I get really annoyed when like people do like just like kids say the darndest things type jokes, you know,
Yeah.
like, and it's like, dude, Bill Cosby already made a whole career off that. Come on.
Yeah, and he did it better than you did.
And he raped some of those kids. So.
Yeah, no, he raped adults. All right,
All right.
let's. All
They
right.
used to be
They
kids.
grew up, and then he probably called them up. You remember when I had you on the darndest things show?
I'm not trying to be an apologist, but at least they weren't kids. They were adult women that he made unconscious, which is pretty fucking horrible.
That's it's
pretty
very
fucking
fucked up.
horrible. But They were adults. But yeah, my son has been pushing me to do, he's 25 now, and he's like, it's okay. And I'm like, well, it's okay now, but that's the thing with the internet too, that I try to explain to my kids is like, be careful what you put on the internet, because that will live forever, whether you want it to or not. I wonder about these kids that are 25 and younger that are doing the TikTok and whatever, because I think about some of the embarrassing, horrible shit that I did, and there's no proof. There's a few Polaroids, but I have possession of them. Okay, and nobody sees them unless I decide to let them see them. But these kids, like, they're going to be 40, and that dippy thing you did when you were 14 is still going to be accessible. Mm-hmm. Like, how is this going to affect them emotionally? Like, I know I just said this suddenly got very serious, but that's what I bring up to my son. It's like, you might think it's cool now, but you might not think it's that cool when you're 40.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a factor to it. And like, you just gotta, be okay with, being embarrassed, I think is like the main thing. And like, kind of rival in that as you do. Like, if you're gonna do that, because like I have a lot of dumb shit. And like, as someone who grew up kind of in like the internet age, like we were posting dumb pictures and videos online, fucking like when we were 14 and stuff, and have had to delete videos for doing dumb shit and stuff. And like, yeah, you do think back and you're like, fuck, that was dumb, right? But like I think there's like, you're so like non-likely to go viral with like so much like shit, like that many people actually don't see stuff, like,
yeah, true.
Especially like if it's just like on
but it's
Facebook
still accessible. It's somewhere,
totally.
Somebody could find it if they really wanted to dig. And that's the thing too, like, especially as many decades removed as I am, I can think of some of the things that I thought was so cool. Like, that takes like 15 years before you look back at some of the stuff that you thought was so cool and go, oh God, I want to kill myself.
But how fun is it just to see you at different checkpoints in your life? Isn't that fun? We're all gonna die.
I have a memory. Oh yeah, I know.
See, that's
Put
the
it on
thing.
the internet.
I don't have a memory. So this is like,
you need someone to blackmail you so they dig up some memories.
I need this.
You're like, I'll kill you if you don't do this. See, here's the proof. Like, I was so young. Look how happy I was. Wow, my skin is glowing.
Posted on Twitter. Look how good I look in this.
No, that's
it's like, why is your mouth bound up? It's like, don't look at that picture. Look at this one.
There's a new movie out right now, a new Seth Rogen movie where he like starts dating the Secretary of State, and she's like making a presidential run. He's like a speechwriter or whatever, but like they go to like blackmail him or whatever with this fucking video of him like jerking off, and it's fucking hilarious, honestly. But the way he goes, he's like, I don't give a fuck if they're blackmailing me for fucking everybody fucking jerks off, dude. And it's like, yeah, but you also come on your face in the videos.
Not everyone, but a lot of people do that.
But no, I think it's like, yeah, it depends on what you do in the video, or like
it all depends on how you own it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just own it.
It's usually when people try to backpedal, it's like,
oh yeah.
But then if you're just like, yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
Then no one cares, because it's like a bully when like the kid is, like doesn't really react to their taunting, and the bully's like,
that's no fun.
Next kid. What do you think?
Man, online bullying is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you did a lot of online bullying.
Yeah, like, are you the bully?
Yeah, actually, I did, but it was all via EverQuest, because that's like when I first came into the internet was when in like 2000, when the only real social media was like what was that, like Windows Instant Messenger or whatever.
Why are you looking at me?
He's not gonna look at us for the answer.
And like video games, and in video games, people were just ruthless.
Yeah.
They still kind of are, which is why I love video games. It's very just like nobody holds back.
Yeah, no, COD lobbies are still very much exactly what they were when I was in middle school, which is like really fucking super fun and nostalgic.
So, yeah, this is how nerdy I am. That's how I met my husband. We were in a Quake clan together. And
Nice.
Wait.
Hell
we
yeah.
played Quake. And we had specific insults hotkeyed.
Oh, that's great. That's
Like
fucking awesome.
So you didn't have to pause and type it out. It was like, "Oh, I could see your mother from here."
I said it a lot, so I needed to.
That's such a good one on the computer.
That was a good one. I feel like those are some of the best roasts that ever happen. Is like online video games.
Oh
I
God.
remember playing League of Legends like in high school, and like we would just get fucking brutal at each other. Like, oh my God, like I hope your whole family fucking dies of a skin-eating parasitic disease, you fucking plebeian. Like shit like that. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
I don't know what it is about those games. That genre just gets you fucking so mad.
Not
Like,
hungry
first
anymore.
person
yeah,
shooter.
you get so
Oh.
fucking pissed, dude.
I was the master of it. I know Quake is way before you guys' time, but you could choose different characters. And I always did a scout, which is not particularly powerful, but I was really good at it. We'd play this one where it's capture the flag. I was good enough I could get all the flags, and then the whole rest of my team were snipers. And I'd be like, okay, loading up. And I would carry all the flags to the center of the arena and then get killed. And I'd drop all the flags and everybody would come pouring out. And so my name was Victim. And they'd be like, Victim's a dick. Why did you die there?
So
Awesome.
funny.
So
Well, shit.
Man, the
This has
internet's crazy, right?
Yeah, dude. So you can find this on the internet. It'll be there.
whether we like
for
it or
years,
not.
forever.
Right.
Forever.
Mhm.
Forever.
Do you guys have any like
any shows coming up to plug?
Coming up. Well, yeah, I've got Nate and Friends on October 28th. Mad Swede downtown. That's going to be great.
I got an open mic tonight.
We
all are on those tonight, actually.
open mic anytime, anywhere. Follow me on Instagram at cope.tanya. Yours is ridiculous. Or you can follow Forces of Nature either on YouTube.
We got a YouTube channel.
You guys do?
Yeah.
Hell
it's
yeah.
Random.
Forces of Nature comedy.
It's
Yeah.
just like whatever you guys want to post on it.
Just
Yeah,
random
it's
shit.
no-
Right
yeah.
now, it's a lot of like wildlife footage.
That's
and
cool.
weirdness.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cause I got my buddy that I know has a drone.
I just bought one today.
Yeah.
And
Did you know you're supposed to have a license to fly those?
Yep. I found that out also today.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So yeah, my buddy who sends me his footage.
donated footage. yes.
Donated footage. Yeah.
And then there's some pretty good footage of us drunk in Ketchikan at the
There's some
Bowden
pretty
House.
good footage.
Bowden House.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Forces of Nature Comedy
Yeah, on YouTube.
on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool name.
Also
Hell
on
yeah.
Instagram.
Also on Instagram. Yeah.
Also on Instagram.
I think YouTube's the way of the future.
Yeah, I like it.
I like YouTube.
It's a much more open format. You know, you can just kind of do whatever.
Yeah, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That interview failed to load again, I think.
Also, YouTube
Oh.
raised me.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I did is I was in
Oh,
Ketchikan and I like to do graffiti art, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did this. I like to do wildlife, so I was just painting this picture of a bald eagle, but it was really big. It was like 50 feet by like 50 feet on the side of this retaining wall, and then somebody called the cops on me. And then the cops show up, and they're like, "No, you don't do that." And I was like, "Fuck, right?"
Fair.
Yeah, I was like, "Whatever." I actually had a gun in my pocket at the time, which they gave back to me, which was cool, you know.
Were you like gonna shoot them
Must have
for
been
you
registered.
vandalizing?
No,
Bears are a legit
Yeah,
issue.
you're right next to the woods, and there's black bears everywhere, and so. Yeah, they actually gave it back to me, which was wild. Usually they just take them and keep them.
Bag them and tag them.
And then they served me with the paperwork, and it said Class C felony. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. So I had to hire a lawyer and jump through all these hoops and fucking get it dropped to a misdemeanor. And then I had to do this community service in Ketchikan when I was working like 70 hours a week. Because I was there for work. So I'm like, well, I don't want to have to come back here. to do fucking community service. So then they signed me up to do community service at this joint called the Eagles Club. And that's where I met old Jimbo, and I was like, Jim. And
Eagles clubs are great.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're cool.
They're cool
fuck.
as shit.
My parents are members of the Eagles, and
Yeah.
they're like town.
Yeah, and so I told them the whole story, and they were like, "What the fuck? Like, who are you?" And then they were like, "Well, if you want to do an eagle mural, we got this whole side of this building you can paint." And
Fuck
so
yeah.
then I started doing that, but then some fucking Karen across the street was like, sent him like a cease and desist order saying that it was ugly and it was most likely illegal, and that they can't do it because it's part of the historic district in like downtown Ketchikan.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, so this whole fucking debacle.
I hate artwork. I just want shitty gray buildings everywhere.
So you're just
Now-
dividing Alaska. That's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
So now Danny doesn't love eagles as much as he used to because he got in trouble. 2 separate eagles.
I never really liked eagles that much. They're very picturesque.
2 eagles, 1 crime.
You know, they make a good picture.
So like they're like an Alaska staple.
Yeah.
Too.
Right,
There's
yeah.
so many.
They're like
bald eagles in
pigeons
Alaska.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
they're
definitely the
everywhere.
Alaska pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Well then, do you guys want to say the last words? We'll end this thing.
Man, electricity though, right? Isn't that shit wild?
It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.